Where is it okay to use a hidden camera? This week I'm going to talk to you about that and give you a real-world case study to show you some of the finer points that I'm talking about. Hi, Larry K, ShadowAnyone.com, and the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, premium private investigator training from someone who's been there and done that. Now, you instinctually, naturally know there's some places you cannot put a hidden camera. You cannot hide a camera in a bathroom. You cannot hide a camera in a locker room. Now, we just know those things. But here's the key phrase I want you to understand that explains it a little bit more, makes it a little more clear to you. And remember, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not teaching you legal stuff. But the phrase I want you to know is, what is someone's reasonable expectation of privacy? When you're looking, can I put a camera here? Would a person have a reasonable expectation of privacy? Of course, in a bathroom, they have a reasonable expectation of privacy. In a locker room, they have a reasonable expectation that that's a private place. So that's the reason why we instinctually know we can't put cameras there. But there are places that's a little more on the line. We're not really, it may not be as cut and dried. You may not have that instinctual feeling that it's okay or not okay to put a camera there. Let me give you a real world example. A bar brought me in. They were having an extensive shrinkage loss from alcohol and money out of the till. So they wanted to put in a couple of hidden cameras, one looking down on the register and one in the stockroom where they stored extra alcohol. Now, ask yourself here in this situation, if I want to put a camera looking down on the register in the bar, would a person operating a register, working behind the bar, have a reasonable expectation of privacy? I say probably not. They're in the bar. There's customers around. It's a working environment. It just strikes me that they would not have a reasonable expectation of privacy there. And I would have no trouble installing a camera for them in that particular spot. Here's where we ran into a little bit of trouble, is the stockroom. I went back there. I saw exactly what they were talking about. They wanted a hidden camera. Well, the stockroom has a lock on it. So a person can go into the stockroom, lock the door behind them. Now, if you did that, would you have a reasonable expectation that it was private? Yes, you probably would. Now, that doesn't mean we can't put a camera back there, but I want you to think, if we hid a camera back there, and what if a bartender goes in to change clothes before a shift, or spills something on him or herself and goes back there to change clothes, or part of their uniform or top or whatever? They have a reasonable expectation going into that stockroom, locking the door, that they can change clothes and nobody's going to be watching them. If we've got a hidden camera there, we've got a problem. So how do you handle this? What I suggested to the bar owners was a couple of different things. One, if you put up a sign, for example, that says cameras are in use. If you have your employees sign a waiver or an information sheet that says, we understand that cameras may and are being used, whether we can see them or not, everywhere in the bar except for the bathrooms, then now you've informed them, they understand that there could be hidden cameras in there. Again, maybe having a sign on the door that says cameras are in use in this stockroom. That would be another thing. Maybe or maybe not if there was a lock on the door. It certainly makes a difference. That locking door makes all the difference in the world to me. You can go in, lock the door, and expect to be left alone. If there's not a lock on the door, you could make the argument that I closed the door. I kind of still expected it, if somebody opened it, that they would knock. I still expected a certain level of privacy back there. So maybe having the lock on the door, maybe taking it off, might influence your case or help you a little bit. But just be on the safe side. That's just not a place I was willing to put a camera for them without the use of signs and saying that there are cameras in use in the stockroom. It may seem silly. Well, of course, if they know there's cameras, they're going to stop doing what they're doing, or they're going to do it someplace else, and we're going to have trouble catching them. Maybe yes, maybe no. You're thinking like a reasonable, rational person now, and not somebody who becomes very used to the routine of going to work there every day. And it's just one of those things, people tend to drop their guard. So it wouldn't necessarily hurt your odds of catching them doing theft. But I want you to think and know and understand that term, reasonable expectation of privacy, before you install one more camera for any case that you're working. This is Larry K, ShadowAnyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.